Fastest 2 hours in radio.
Rules in action. It's up to each one of us to know the rules and follow them. Follow.
All systems go.
The Morning Edge.
With Fox 2's Vic Faust, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp, and Eric Johnson.
The Morning Edge starts now. Today is Thursday.
There's nothing special about
It
it.
is a special day.
It really is special.
It's special.
How is it special?
It's almost the weekend, as they say.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Tomorrow's Friday.
And I'm excited.
Yes, well, until then.
Get back to work. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready?
I was born ready.
It's showtime.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Got myself into a sticky situation.
I was going to say, you doing all right over there?
No, I'm not. I don't even drink coffee that regularly, and I just spilt it. I am very clumsy. I am ungraceful. I just, if I had time, I would want to go learn how to do ballet or something to become more graceful.
Really?
Light on my feet.
Being graceful is something that's high on your list of things you want to be able to do?
It's just something I could be a whole lot better at. I mean, I
don't think knocking over the coffee. I think everybody knocks over the coffee. I don't think that was such a...
sticky and ugh. My license, my credit card are all sticky.
That was a coffee you stopped and purchased too, right?
Yes, it was, and I don't even drink it that often, but I needed something to tell my receptors that I'm not tired today. And then when you're tired, you start knocking stuff around and everything else. But we welcome everybody into the show.
Yeah, we welcome.
Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Thursday. Did you enjoy that weather yesterday?
Yes.
Record shattered the record, 82 degrees.
It was beautiful.
I know it sucks when you have to go into work early.
I did, but I didn't.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I
What
was
do you
very
mean?
busy yesterday.
Oh, yeah, you had some fires.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I talked to our producer.
Yes.
This morning, as soon as the radio show's done, I'm supposed to send an email. We'll see if we can get out and talk to you. But could he do it later in the day than 12?
Absolutely.
That's what we may have to wait to do that a little bit later and later.
We can do that.
Vic in a tutu. Oh, because I said
they're
ballet.
taking ballet, yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, when I was in high school, I saw NFL receivers taking ballet to be lighter on their feet, to be a little bit more agile. And I was like, oh, I should probably do that, but no.
I mean, it might work. Everybody else does it. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to help you not knock over coffee, though. I feel
Yeah,
like
but
that's just a thing that
just-
happens.
Like regularly.
Yeah.
It's not just coffee.
I think you were just a little bit excited because everybody was here. Everybody was here before you.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
No, not. Yeah, well, you were. Most days I pull in and I'm first, but I'm like, damn, Angela's here. Chris is here.
Was Eric here?
Well, he never is.
If Eric was here first, could you imagine what Vic would lose it?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
It'd be
but-
awesome. It'd
It
be
would
so
be.
I thought
great.
about calling his caretaker yesterday to see if they could get him ready
Oh, my.
here in time. Doesn't he have a caretaker? Make sure he gets here and they drop him off and he gets back on his way.
If you don't, we need to get him one.
Because, what time is it? Oh, okay. Oh, I do radio at this. Oh, we talked about that. No, I'm just kidding. I had an Eric moment yesterday. Guys, you're listening to The Edge of Fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. As always, share the show. Ran into somebody else yesterday. Oh, I didn't even know you did this show. Somebody shared it. And I was like, my God, it works just like that.
And we need to come up with a hashtag because I
We're
sent
gonna
you
do
that
that.
message. Somebody tweeted at me and said if we had a hashtag, then they could tweet videos and such with that hashtag, and then we could look at the hashtag and see what people are saying about the show.
That is a great idea.
I hear we're kind of entertaining.
Are we?
Sometimes.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's a wonderful idea. So
The one thing that everybody does agree on is that it goes by fast. Whether it's good or not, we won't decide that. It's like, damn, yeah, that went by fast. Usually things that go by fast.
Well,
are
that is
good.
why we say it's the fastest 2 hours of morning radio.
It is anywhere. And the Facebook chat line is second to none. Jump in there, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show as always. You can always give Angela a call, 636-695-2915. ViperRocks.com, ironically, is where there's no real way to judge how many people listen on radio, right, Chris? throughout
Not
the
till
signal.
the books come out. No, not every day like we can on our social media pages.
But yeah,
and on our
ViperRocks.com. You blow my mind how many people actually listen on ViperRocks.com.
Yes.
So we appreciate you coming here
Yes, we do.
to the show every day and doing what you're doing. Coming up at 9:30, Ron Kushevsky. Always a big hit on radio. His time goes by fast. We never have enough time for people's questions. We'll try to do that after Ron talks about the Russia situation, their economy, our economy, what to expect, and some advice. But that'll be at 9:30. Always great to have Ron. Gets a chance like that. So he'll come at 9:30. Tomorrow is when we will have Colonel Joe Adams, who initially told us before the invasion began of what was going on, what would happen. I spoke with Colonel yesterday, and it's becoming pretty clear even before the news came out from China yesterday. By the way, China, one of the only few nations in the world that are not backing sanctions. It should tell you something right now. It's pretty clear. They refused to say anything or do anything.
Well,
Joe,
of course, because they want Taiwan. So
Joe talks about this being a precursor. He's like, as we've kind of talked about, it's all planned. It's being laid out. So Joe will join us tomorrow. We'll get right into him tomorrow. So somebody let Eric know if he wants to be in on time. He needs to be here before 8:25 tomorrow.
we'll have to get a hold of his caretaker.
Yeah, and they need to put his clothes out with his matching tags for his clothes that he knows what to wear tomorrow. Make sure he arrives on time.
Poor Eric.
They walk him into the right door. So I sometimes I saw him walking in circles one morning. I was like, no, Eric, it's this door on the side. He's like, okay, thank you, Vic.
Poor Eric. I hope he's listening to this right now.
Oh, he is. Trust me.
Poor guy.
Yes, Cindy
from
the Facebook line says, I saw pics of Colonel Joe at the Freedom Convoy. He was at the convoy. His militia ran security for the convoy as they rolled through Missouri. Drew jumps in. Of course, Vic, China isn't going against Russia. They told them to wait after the Olympics. Well, yeah, because they've been together for a long time. They've absolutely abused our president, our administration. It was interesting yesterday. I feel, like I said, I feel as if Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, has the toughest job in the world trying to speak for this administration. And unfortunately, how Americans say it's been the worst presidency in modern times. Approval ratings are lower than anybody else. She said yesterday that, yes, the last time Russia invaded Ukraine, Crimea, which was a part of Ukraine, Joe Biden was the vice president. So it's like, here we go. Yep. Yeah. It happened again. So she reminded everybody that these are the two times when Russia decided to take advantage of the United States. So Cindy says, who's coming out tomorrow for the convoy coming on Highway 70? I'll be honest with you. I'm all for convoys, and if people want to express their opinions, I am confused as hell. There's so many damn convoys.
Yeah, agreed.
And it dilutes it. And I'm not trying to be angry or negative. This should have been more organized somehow, some way. Yes, there is such a need, and people were like, we got to have this convoy and that convoy, and we want to protest this and protest that. But when you have like 15 of them, you can't put them together. Then you're trying to get news coverage. And it's like, what? Well, I thought they already did that. What? There's another one? Who are these guys? And then it lessens the product. It does. And I'm very, very, very sorry to say that. So organization needs to be better when it comes to the convoy somehow.
Yeah, I'm always interested on which convoy was the first one to be like, we're going to do this, because one of them should have just joined up. I mean, I'm assuming they're protesting the same thing.
It started out as, COVID restrictions, but most of that has been lifted. Most, not necessarily vaccines, but much of it is gone. So then it became, well, we're protesting other things too. So there's websites.
I agree with you, though. They needed to join forces to make it a bigger deal than this one on Wednesday and this one on Friday.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, because the Ukraine situation, I'm sorry, 2 nights ago, the president gave what appeared to be a victory speech. By the way, 32 million people watched. So it was, people cared. That's a big number. 32 million people watched.
Is it though?
Yeah, I think so.
How does it compare to other speeches?
I didn't look. Didn't see. I just saw that was 32.1 million. The United States, once again, according to Drew, are liars, letting these poor people get slaughtered. And you wonder how most of the world hates us. Drew, I couldn't agree with you anymore. This is the problem, once again, with the sanctions that you'll hear the critics of the president say. We still have not done the two most important things we could have done. Number one, sanction the energy, and two, stop from Russia and stop buying oil. We're still buying oil from Russia. Still. Apple stopped selling products to Russia. Harley Davidson. All kinds of companies are jumping in. Exxon stopped a huge oil production. Massive. Because of Russia and what they did. Yet we're still buying oil from Russia. I mean, I just
don't understand.
It all makes sense. It's because it's political. Because then if you stop doing that, what do you have to do? You have to open the Keystone Pipeline. If you do that, you upset the progressives in your party. It all makes sense. And this is why the Democrats have a major problem. Major problem. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, don't care. This is why the Democrats are in trouble. Major trouble. Volvo did as well, Vic, according to Pete Worley. Yet we're still buying, I think it was 365,000 barrels of oil a day from Russia. Still, none of it makes sense, but those who control the media many times control the messaging, as I have said, and you don't hear about it all on a daily basis, and that's the problem. So, yeah, we're in a situation. The sanctions that America has put on, that the Biden administration has put on Russia along with the world, yeah, it's going to work, but in time. Those kind of financial sanctions take time. And there's no doubt in my mind Russia will be destroyed, their economy. They will be. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And the oligarchs and the billionaires that are closely tied. Yes, but guess what? That takes time. Guess what the Ukrainian people in the streets don't have? They don't have time. They need something now. We're not flying planes in. We're not dropping bombs because then we're in a direct war with Russia. So it makes it different than the other countries that we've helped that have been overrun. China has Russia's back, which is, if you don't realize, this is just the start. We're just scratching the surface. It's scary. So I don't know what you do now. What do you do besides trying to get weapons into the Ukrainian people? Zelensky's still alive. We offered to get him out, apparently, we being the United States. He said, no, I'm staying. So it's become a major issue. And now we start to see, as Drew brought this up to start with this morning, Ukrainians and the death tolls going up. And what are we supposed to do as Americans? And apparently Ukraine thought that they were going to get more help.
I don't know how much more help you can help them. I mean, Russia has the third biggest military in the world. Ukraine hardly had any military.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's almost like it's the inevitable. And this is kind of a trick bag for the United States and other countries, in my opinion, because China is a problem, and it's going to be a problem.
Donna says nuclear war threat is scary. Here's an interesting thing. The owner of the Chelsea Premier Soccer League team, Roman Abramovich, Russian, is now selling the team.
Oh.
And I think he is one of he's a Russian oligarch. He's one of them. That kind of shows what's happening. But once again, it doesn't help the Ukrainian people. I continue to watch the interviews and the videos and try to put myself there. It's as your kids, trying to race out of there. Interview women and children, trying to hide in basements. They're hiding in subways. They're trying to sleep down there. 3 and 4 people to a bed at some point in time. In some of those situations. And 2 nights ago, it sounded as if, well, Putin's going to get what he deserves, and we're stopping Putin. He's been met with this worldwide force against him. No, he hasn't. They're rolling right along. They know exactly what they're doing. He may have underestimated how long it would take to take the Ukrainians because their fighting spirit has been absolutely amazing.
Which I think that's true. That's true.
Man, another good point. Sorry, I won't keep saying his name, Drew, but selling a team doesn't stop bombs from dropping. Exactly. So you can do all the sanctions, financial sanctions on Russia, on Putin, on his oligarchs. It's not helping the people of Ukraine.
Here's my question. How does Putin retaliate against the countries, including the United States, that are helping the Ukrainians? He's going to retaliate.
Not as long as he gets what he wants.
Where does it stop?
There's nothing he can do against the United States.
I don't know about that.
What are you suggesting?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he's going to retaliate in some way.
The only way he could retaliate and say is, I'm not selling my oil to you anymore.
Is it hacking
Which
the
would be a
United
good
States?
thing. Well, do you hear people?
Well, yeah, we've been warned about that.
Right. Is China going to get involved? They're buddies.
Yeah, they are buddies. And if you didn't know, yesterday, China, one of the few countries that refused to jump on board with sanctions of any kind against Russia, which shows that they're for this. They're for the overtaking because, yeah, and then there was another Russian or a Chinese warship that was seen off the coast of Taiwan again yesterday. So they're toying. They're setting a stage. They're letting people know what's going on. Taiwan is next. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And I think this brings the United States in even more so than an Eastern European country.
Oh, big time.
This is going to be a huge deal. And tomorrow when we talk with Colonel Joe Adams about that at 8:25, you won't want to miss that. You'll as a matter of fact, Joe knows a lot of things that are going on.
We are massively invested into Taiwan.
Yeah, the world has changed. Yeah. And Taiwan has nothing. I mean, they have no way of even putting up a small fight against China.
Think about the people that live in Taiwan looking at us with Joe Biden in office.
Well, I mean, they're taking advantage of Joe Biden. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Big time.
By the way, Joe Biden's Washington Post, ABC News Police rate 37% approval rating. That's not Fox News.
No.
All right, that's not OAN. That's not Newsmax polling. That is ABC polling with the Post. 37% approval rating. Yeah, it's.
Is that the worst in history, you think, as far as a president?
Yes.
Well, is it
Yeah,
really?
modern day,
Yeah.
absolutely. Modern day president, absolutely. Inflation is still going up. Although yesterday, Jerome Powell said that he believes that inflation will end or go down this year.
I don't see how.
I don't see how either. We'll talk to Ron once again. Stiefel CEO Ron Kruszewski will be joining us at 9:30 today. If you're going to talk money, talk about how to handle things, looking at things, there's nobody better than Ron. We got him in our backyard with Stiefel. What an amazing job they've done. So we'll talk to Ron about inflation and some of those other things that are going on. What it's like to be at a top level of working with money around the world these days.
Ooh, can you imagine?
From Cindy, Ukraine isn't in NATO, so we can't and shouldn't get involved. This is the other perspective that I've heard. We need to stay out of it. Your president, talking about Biden, not mine, pulling out of Afghanistan, leaving our people over there. We need to stay out of it. Which brings me to something else. Yesterday, after the show was over, I got a message. This person was thanking me for going over the Biden speech and breaking it down and spending the time. But they said I left out something. So I apologized and I said, you know what? You're right. There was one thing that Biden didn't have in his speech that did upset a lot of people and thought it was kind of careless and not from the heart. The fact that he didn't acknowledge the service members who were killed in the bomb in Afghanistan, including our very own Lieutenant Colonel Jared Schmitz from the St. Charles County area, of which the parents still feel as if they haven't gotten all the answers and no videos. Mark Schmitz, who we had on the show, says, look at all this video of Ukraine and video of all these other situations that have happened, yet we don't have any video, despite all these people with cell phones over there at the at the Kabul airport in Afghanistan, and we don't have video of what really happened. These parents don't believe what they're hearing from our own U.S. government about what happened right now, what was done, what ball might have been dropped, because the answers aren't adding up. But President Biden failed, as I was told, to even mention them in the lives and the sacrifice, just kind of brushed past the Afghanistan pullout as if it had never happened. Kind of like the NFL. refused to say the name St. Louis in the Super Bowl for 3 hours of pregame coverage in the entire Super Bowl, and then the postgame
one's
coverage.
a little bit bigger of a deal than not mentioning St. Louis.
But it's almost as if it's planned.
Yeah.
The Schmitzes from Cindy, the Schmitzes were on Newsmax with Stenchfield last night talking about it. There you go. So that was something else that somebody said that I might have looked over, was the fact that Biden didn't even mention the lives that were American lives lost in the horrible pullout of Afghanistan. So we wanted to make sure that that was brought in as well. So even though that's not being talked about on most national networks, most national media, it is a major thing. And it could be, again, why the president's approval rating continues to fall down, and why his critics are calling this the worst presidency in modern history. So,
yeah, but he don't care. I don't think Biden cares.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Why would he? He ain't going to run again.
I mean,
well, we know that.
I wonder.
Everybody knows he's not
Does
running
he care?
again.
I mean,
Right.
I get your point.
Why would he care?
They're not going to move him out.
Right.
He's got this job now. He doesn't want it again.
I mean, come on. You're talking about a guy that didn't even know that Go Brandon was about him.
Yeah, I know. Gosh. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds are promising to match donations to Ukrainian refugees up to $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ryan Reynolds can't do anything wrong. I mean, these days, he really can't.
And he's a good-looking dude, too.
Yeah. Yeah, on top of it all.
I mean, on top of that, yeah.
Yeah, at least he's got a heart and he's doing things.
Yeah, he's good-looking. He's got a heart. He's picked a side. He said what a side is. I mean, that's...
Yeah. You're talking about politically.
Yeah.
And he still has a job.
And he still has a job. Like, come on. Like, this dude.
By the way, 1 million people have fled Ukraine since the Russian invasion began, according to the UN Refugee Agency. 1 million people. That's what they can count. Okay, I don't want to hear this crap. Todd Bodeker said light snow in Peoria right now.
Cut it out.
80 yesterday.
No.
Drew Collins jumping in with, 1 million people who crossed the border already. Michelle talking about Ryan, that he's absolutely amazing. So we got a lot to get into. It's the fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. Don't go anywhere. Seriously, we talk about this. Share the show. Let people know what we're doing. We get bigger and stronger every day. Facebook 100.7 The Viper. Once again, 100.7 The Viper on Facebook. That's what you share. ViperRocks.com. You can take us wherever you go. We're on YouTube. Are we still on YouTube?
Oh, yes.
All right. Remember, people still
The Morning
watching.
Edge.
The Morning Edge. I know. I didn't know if we were still there.
We're there.
People also know us on radio, 100.7 FM. The Viper, the fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. I guess, does Eric still work on the show?
You know that Eric
Chris-
doesn't come until after this break.
No, we never know.
I
No.
feel like since
never
I've
know.
been
No.
here, he always comes after
Well, it's
this
because he's
break.
gotten more lazy.
I just thought that was like his deal. Like
I've
he
been
gets to
told.
come in
I've been
after
told as
that
you
break.
get older and you get past the old age that he is, that it's harder to get out of bed in the morning. So
you keep making him
maybe
sound like he's 100. He's not that
I think
old.
Eric enjoys you talking about him to
he
build
does.
it up.
Yeah, he does.
Build it up before he gets
and that's
here.
what we tried to do. We tried to make something of it because we kept getting asked, well, where's Eric?
Where's
Does
Eric?
Eric still work here or not?
Right.
So now we have to take chicken, you know what? Make chicken.
Oh, man.
Chris Knight, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Don't go anywhere. Back with more right after this. The phone number if you want to give us a call as well. 636-695-2915. We'll also talk with Ron Kruszewski, the Stiefel CEO, at 9:30.
Molly Rose, how does traffic look this morning?
Edge Morning Traffic. Chesterfield drivers, there is a crash 64 eastbound at Timberlake Manor. The two left lanes are closed, and it's causing a 5-mile backup. There's a stalled vehicle reported to be blocking on Highway 94 at Cedar Glen. And then bring the sunglasses. A bit of sunshine slowdowns eastbound 70 through the O'Fallon area, and then some slowing in that area from an earlier eastbound crash. That was near Highway K, and it's since cleared. 364 and 370 drivers are on the move this morning. In St. Louis County, some slowing, 170 southbound, approaching 6440. And 270 northbound is jammed up from 55 up to Manchester. I'm Fox 2's Molly Rose. That's your Edge Morning Traffic.
Listen to the Edge Morning Show live. Watch it live or anytime on demand. Details at ViperRocks.com or on Facebook.
Hey, it's Shanny from the Legendary Lunch, and if you're hiring somebody to come in and do a project for you or your business, you need to trust them. And trust is built. Well, that's what Concrete Bob and everybody over at Concrete Masters does every day. They build trust, and they do it with quality work. And it shows in their porches and patios, the driveways and walkways they pour, the garages. Whether it's commercial or residential, Concrete Masters does it all. For new projects to tear out and replacement, if it's flat, Concrete Masters makes it great. So if you've got an upcoming concrete project and you don't call Concrete Masters, well, it's your own ass fault. Call them today, Concrete Masters, 314-486-0926. Tell them you want to speak to Concrete Bob and plan your next project today. 314-486-0926. It's Concrete Masters.
Hi, this is Dr. Erin Huey with Tomasino Gerst Vision Source. We provide a ton of specialty care, glaucoma, diabetic eye care, dry eye evaluations, now myopia management. Typically, we see patients that need vision correction for a variety of hobbies, for work, most often glasses and contacts. Come and see us at Tomasino Gerst Vision Source, dryoureyes.com, 272-1444. dryoureyes.com.
You work from home, and now home can be anywhere you want with an RV from Bill Thomas Camper Sales. RV travel is the ultimate social distancing for your family, and you know what you have with you and where it's been. For 55 years locally, family-owned, Bill Thomas Camper Sales has had the highest quality for every budget, and they have guidelines in place for your safe shopping experience. Travel in comfort and safety with a visit to Bill Thomas Camper Sales in Wentzville. For details, hours, and directions, go to btcamper.com.
My daughter used to be a shining star. I would tell her, there's nothing you can't do. Now, it's like living with a stranger. It happens so fast. Centerpoint Hospital, real help for addiction and hope for a bright future.
If a young person dear to you is facing substance use, the Changing Point at Centerpoint Hospital now offers adolescent treatment solutions with detox, 4-week residential, and outpatient treatment. The Changing Point for Adolescents at Centerpoint Hospital. Hope for a bright future.
Hey, it's Shanny for Mascots Bar and Grill, and I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a place to watch the game with friends, Cardinals, Blues, whatever, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. If you're looking for a place for happy hour, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. Heck, grab some friends, get a table, and play rock and roll bingo every night and twice on Saturdays at Mascots Bar and Grill. You can win some great prizes. Seriously, great prizes at Mascots for playing rock and roll bingo. And it's absolutely free to play. Wednesday night is ladies' night, and you won't believe the specials they have going on there. Come by for lunch. They're the home of the Legendary Lunch Special. You go tell them you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, and you want that big old burger and fries for just $5, and they're going to give it to you fresh and hot, just the way you ordered it, and it's so delicious, and you don't have to do the dishes. If you go once, you will go again and again. Mascots Bar and Grill, home of the Legendary Lunch Special.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, I'm Flo from Progressive. If you love the sports like me, you get annoyed with your team or player. So Progressive's going to help take your mind off your team or that player for a moment. Instead of thinking about how they lost that thing recently, think about Progressive letting you compare our direct rates side by side with competitors to easily find the lowest option. Don't worry, your sports ball team or player will get him next time. Hope this distraction from Progressive about easily comparing rates was helpful to not think about that last game or match or season. I mean, even though I love sports ball.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge. Chris Knight, Angela Sharp, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. The fastest 2 hours in morning talk radio. Appreciate everybody being with us again. Love it when you share the show. If you want to give us a call, you can. The phone number is 636-695-2915. Talking about all the sadness, craziness, wildness going on, of course, in Ukraine right now. The world on alert and probably will be for some time. And we haven't even gotten into the whole China thing. And by the way, you won't want to miss Colonel Joe Adams tomorrow at 8:25 when he talks about the situation and China's involvement with all of this, as the world kind of bypasses China right now and not really talking a lot, I repeat, a lot when it comes to China's role in everything and what that could be and what the United States will have to face next. Okay, we all know that masking has kind of gone by the wayside.
Speaking of which, though, I did see a guy this morning on the way to work in a truck.
With his mask on?
By himself.
He's allowed. Hey.
With a mask on.
More power to him.
Was it a company vehicle? Because, a lot of times they're making people in company vehicles wear masks.
Oh, that would be a lawsuit.
It was. It was a box truck.
So, yeah, if it was a company truck, then that's a totally different, your job's requiring you to do that.
I'd like to know if there's a job requiring you to wear a mask when you're inside of a truck, a cab, by yourself.
For
by
sure
yourself.
There is. Absolutely there is.
I don't believe that.
Absolutely. I know for a fact there is.
You know somebody that...
We got to call them if they're making people do that. That's insane. Yesterday, did you guys see what happened with Ron DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSantis?
Oh, yes, I did, and I loved every minute of it.
He was doing a press conference at a school, and he had high school kids behind them. Well, the high school kids were being told to wear masks, or they were in mask. He walks up and he says this to him. We have the recording of it. You can also find it and look it online. But listen, is it loud enough, Chris, that people can hear?
Yeah.
This is the voice of Governor Ron DeSantis talking to 4 high school kids who, by the way, listen to him and do what he says. And there's more to talk about this story that happened after the press conference as well. Here's what Governor Ron DeSantis.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
Ron DeSantis talking to at least 4 high school kids that were standing by him. So what did they do? The kids took off the mask.
Damn right.
He called it COVID theater. Ron DeSantis has been speaking about this from the get-go. He's been bringing science to the mix, if people want to throw the word science out there. Florida bounced back from a, quote, science COVID standpoint and an economic standpoint faster than any other of the states their size, including New York, who had major lockdowns, COVID restrictions, masking, vaccination mandates, and he won.
And if you remember, Vic,
I mean, he won. Whether we like Ron DeSantis, whether we like how he handles himself, he won.
But back in the day, when I say back in the day, just a short time ago last year, if you remember, Biden administration was against Ron DeSantis, saying you're going to hurt all these people because of the snowbirds going down there for the winter and all this. And it just didn't happen that way. It didn't.
Absolutely. So
I saw this video because POS was trending on Twitter, and I was like, I wonder who the POS is they're talking about. And it was this video. A lot, as we know, Twitter tends to be very liberal, but
You mean the same Twitter that same Twitter that banned Vicky Hartzler, a Missouri Senate candidate?
Yeah, that one. That's the
and
Twitter.
refuses to ban Vladimir Putin?
That's the Twitter I'm talking about. So they are calling this bullying. They say he is bullying these small children. Now they're high school students, so not that small, but they say that this is bullying and horrible and how awful it was the opposite way when, people didn't want to wear masks and they were getting bullied. This is the exact same thing, but in reverse. So that's how I saw the video.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what was interesting, and if you go look, I think it was WFLA. Have you ever heard of? Do you know where they are?
Yeah,
where
actually, I used to watch it down there in Tampa.
It's a Tampa station. Yeah. WFLA went and found one of the students and his mom, or his mom called up a TV station and wanted to do an interview. In this interview, the mom talks about how upset she was that she put her son at risk. I mean, hey, maybe if he doesn't have any comorbidities that they talked about. But she's like, I wanted him to wear a mask. So they asked the reporter asked the kid, did you take it off because you were afraid, or why did you take it? And did you feel pressure to take it off? And there's like 5 to 10 seconds that go by. He's like, no, not really. And it was kind of like going against what mom said. And I'm like, oh my God, this is disaster on TV for them. Then the mom goes, well, it's just the governor kind of forced my son to do it. Then she said, parents should have a say in whether their kids are wearing a mask or not. I'm like, oh my God. Did I just hear a parent on the other side say parents have a right to say whether their kids wear a mask or not? Have we not heard that for the last 2 years?
Well, we have heard that for a while now, yeah.
Oh my God. It's just, as we tried to do on the show, it's like we just try to get all the information out and just call out the hypocrisy, because unfortunately hypocrisy is alive and well all over the United States in a variety of areas. And let's just be honest. Let's call things what they are. Put it all out there on the table. Everybody has their opinion. Let's talk. Let's see what's out there. Let's expose everything, and the truth will always stand out. Cindy says, wait, my body, my choice.
It doesn't work that way. Apparently, it only works in the way of killing babies.
So, once again, as Michelle says, he said, if you want to wear them, wear them. He just came up disgusted, going, listen, this COVID theater has to stop. He's like, take them off. He's like, if you want to wear them, wear them. He didn't force them to take it off. If you want to wear them, that's fine. But this has to stop at some point.
Yes, he was very abrupt when he first walked up, but then he kind of softens midway through and says, if you want to wear it, whatever, but you don't have to. And I feel like any high school kid, and I could be wrong, there might be a high school kid who's totally opposite, but no matter what, is going to want to stand back. If you're behind something, you're going to be on the TV, you probably want your face out there, you're going to take it off, right? You're in high school?
Once again, no problems if you want to wear a mask. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. We already know this. If the mask works for the 1 millionth time on this show, then good, you're protected. You don't have to worry about anybody else whether they wear a mask or not. From Glenn Thompson, Florida had no restrictions. They had the lowest COVID cases. California, the most restrictions, and guess what? The highest cases. Kind of end of story, right? Hey,
one would think.
I'm in media. I love numbers. I love hardcore numbers. And I'm sorry, numbers don't lie. They really don't. Unfortunately, as you still start to see all of the information that's coming out, it has held true. Over 80% of all the COVID deaths in America were people who had obesity. How much are we attacking the issue of obesity? How many commercials do you see about obesity? How much do you hear doctors and teachers at school forcing an issue, a standard, meals, activity that attacks obesity at the earliest stages? How much, Angela?
0. I had a milkshake every day when I was in school because we sold them at our school. So I had a milkshake every single day for lunch.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
So once again, over 80% of death, we knew this from the get-go. We knew it within 6 months. It was clear. It was attacking people who were sick. And that's shameful because we all know somebody who died from COVID or from COVID-related illness. Yet, we're still not talking. We're still not talking about. I think the president said the other night, we know that vaccination stops the spread. Well, that's not true.
He did, in fact, say that. Yes.
That's not true. That was another thing I wrote down, but I didn't even have time to get into yesterday, much less not saying, giving out a shout out to the families of our servicemen and women who died in the bombing in Afghanistan at the Kabul airport. So I didn't even get a chance to get into it yesterday, but that was something else. I was like, when I was writing, I was like, no, they don't. They have not proven to stop the virus because we already know everybody got it after getting vaccinated. So anyway, from Linden, or this is Rob talking about Lindenwood University. Wow. Lindenwood University, I did not know this, requiring employees to wear masks on their premises. However, since they announced that they're going to the NCAA Division I sports, they now removed mask requirements at sporting events. Makes a lot of sense,
So
huh?
I'm guessing
Are
the,
you
the
kidding me?
NCAA is in charge of what happens at the sporting events, and they're in charge of what happens at school.
We already know it's been a joke for the last year. Nobody wearing masks in stands.
That's what I
kids
said.
being-
You don't ever know. Like, if you go somewhere, you don't know, am I supposed to wear one? Am I not supposed to wear one? Like, I'm on all these different groups, for different concerts that are coming up, and people are always asking, like, what's the rule in St. Louis? Because the rule everywhere else it's 100% different no matter where you're at.
Well, we were told on the show several times, too, former co-host, Dr. Naputi, guests from around the world, that when COVID disappears, it would disappear fast. And Jeannie says, I'm completely amazed at how fast COVID disappeared. It has, hasn't it? It's like, poof, all of a sudden, Ukraine happens, and now we don't talk about COVID anymore.
And I was going to ask you, since you're the guy in the
Dun,
know,
dun, dun.
why is that? Is that because now we have something else to talk about on the top of the news? Like, if we didn't have that to talk about, will we still be doing COVID numbers and such?
I don't know. I'm just grateful. Well, the hospitalizations dropped. The amount of new cases dropped. And they were dropping as this was gearing up over in Ukraine. But it makes you wonder. It makes you think about what's going on, too. But keep in mind, the poor kids, in some senses, around the country are still having to wear masks in some places. They're still, I mean, if there was proof, and we've said it on the show before, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. But we're still waiting for a controlled scientific study, one, that shows how masks work scientifically, how they work. Now, people say, well, of course they work. There's some doctors, oh, yeah, they work. Really? Well, then why did we go from, oh, now you can't wear a cloth mask anymore after, oh, you got to have a cloth mask on at least. And then it's like, oh, no. Those cloth masks, they don't work now. And then it goes from surgical, oh, well, now we really know it's the N95. We've talked about it a million times on the show, but poof, gone. Yet there are still some areas and some businesses that ask you, medical offices, you still have to wear a mask.
Yeah, for sure. I think in the city of St. Louis, you're technically supposed to wear a mask.
Not many people wearing masks at the Support Ukraine rallies either. The media also isn't calling those mass spreader events anymore as well. Good point there from the Facebook line from Crystal. Alan says Ukraine happens and the news is no longer talking about COVID. The broader Freedom Convoy, proof of non-stories anymore. Carlene says, I'm at the hospital this morning. Nurse says they are going to be dropping the mask hopefully soon.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but hopefully soon. Those two words
You
are
don't like those.
No.
That's because you like facts and
Yeah,
numbers
black and white.
when it's going to happen. Yeah. But,
Because things can
hopefully
be drug
soon
on.
sounds like there's a chance.
Well, yeah, it keeps you drug along. You just keep, you're just, we'll just move you along. And then apparently, in the city of St. Louis, some of the stuff that businesses have had to deal with has been absolutely insane. But it is what it is. Ron DeSantis giving us, he talks about COVID theater. He gave us COVID theater yesterday with that because I think that's trending. The sad thing is the fact that people are so divisive in their thoughts, practices, and words that you had governors forcing kids to wear masks or they couldn't go in places. Then when a governor, and I'm just about being fair, then you have a governor who comes in and says, please take your mask off. This is COVID theater. Then he trends under POS when other governors are praised for doing the opposite to kids. It's the same thing. Right? I'm not missing anything, right?
No, you're not missing anything.
But I get very angry because we're not talking about, if we really love kids and care about kids as I do, and I've devoted the last 13 years of my life to coaching kids in 3 different sports and giving up my free time to help put kids on to put them in positions to succeed in life from a sports standpoint and being healthy and working out and talking to them about their diet and good choices and staying away from the bad things that are out there. Yet we're not talking about it in the media. We're not talking about it at the national level still. And if COVID hit the obesity age or the obesity group that hard, we're still not talking about it. We need to talk about it now.
Well, they even push back for elementary school kids and speech development. They even push back what is normally the benchmarks that you have to hit. They pushed all of those back because while wearing these masks, kids aren't hitting those things they need to hit as far as speech pathology goes, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, I agree. One other thing, Rob just jumped in, and we jump around. Barnes St. Peter's Hospital ER making people wear surgical masks that they provide. I bet that's the way all over the place. If you guys have other experiences, let us know. That's what you guys do a great job of on the show in regards to letting us know things. I brought this up yesterday, and I didn't understand why. And then last night, guess what? Zero coverage. Did you notice that the major networks did not cover the progressive working parent speech by Rashida Tlaib from Michigan in response to Biden's speech? Not a single coverage anywhere. Of this Democrat who they've raised and propped up for at least a year as being one of the, and I talked about it yesterday. It's like we had a rebuttal. We had a Democrat ripping the Democrat president after he spoke, yet we got zero coverage of it nationally. Zero.
I didn't realize that no one touched it.
Nobody touched it. Nobody. You have to go look for it, but you'll find it. We spoke about it on this show yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about it.
You and I and Eric.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, still again, a day later, nada. Because the national media can decide what they want to cover, which is sad. Because how much do you want to bet if Trump gave a State of the Union speech and then there was another Republican with a rebuttal?
Absolutely.
Do you think that would have got any coverage?
That we talked about for months to come.
Once again, we just want things to be fair. That's it. We just, it's not even an opinion. It's just be fair. It's be fair. We try to have fun with this stuff. Also, Rob Bizzell from the Facebook line. Did anyone notice the major networks did not cover the 9 pages of side effects?
Oh, I was going to bring that up later.
From the Pfizer vaccine that Pfizer was forced to release.
I was going to bring that up. It's like everything else is going on in the world, and then here are these pieces of paper that you just don't pay any attention to this.
I'd be curious to know. I got an update. I think I was emailed that. I was texted that just a short time ago. Once again, 9 pages of side effects from the Pfizer vaccine.
I think they said in the first 3 months, it's like 4,200 deaths.
But
how many?
4,200. Which, I mean, after, I don't know how many people they're giving the jab to. But
here's the other issue, though. And it's not just that. National Fox, whether you were for vaccine, against vaccine or not, National Fox pushed the vaccine and all that too, and the effects of it, and doctors that
everyone pushed the vaccine.
Yes, but they're not covering the effects, the 9 pages of side effects that Pfizer was forced to release by law. Pfizer didn't do it voluntarily.
No, they tried to get it pushed off for 26 years.
And were forced to bring it through. Now, I know for any of us or anybody who got vaccines, it could be some tough pills to swallow, so to speak, no pun intended. But it is something that should be looked at. National Fox didn't cover it. Jeannie says that's why some of us refuse the vaccine.
Well, I think that's what's happening with some of these documents. The people that got the vaccine want you to get it so you're all in the same hell that they're in. And the people who didn't get it are like, see, I told you I was right. So it's kind of like now you're starting another war within vaxxed or unvaxxed.
Robbie Bizzell says it's as many people who died in the Oklahoma City bombing, if you're going to put some things in perspective.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
But we're just going to push it off to the side because there were so many more people who took the vaccine that didn't have issues from a long-term standpoint. So it should be a story. Donna says side effects from every medication. People die. That's a good point, too. It really is. There are. But Rob,
yeah, that's why I think people wanted the choice to make, because if you have something going on in your body that you know isn't probably going to work well, but it's not necessarily your choice anymore.
Rob says that big media is definitely in the pocket of the Democratic Party. We see examples of that. Trump really is accurate about fake news. The Russian dossier has been proven false, but occupied news for at least 2 years. But I do prefer DeSantis over Trump. Even though Trump right now is in control of the Republican Party, whether people like that or not, he is in control. Eric, you want to say hi before we go to break? We got to call our first hour here in a second. You wore your nice blue hat again.
No, thanks.
I like it.
Sky blue.
Yeah.
I like the orange over there.
Hey,
Good.
thanks.
Nashville.
That's me.
And by the way, did you like my Ukrainian colors last night, guys?
I did.
It worked.
Yes, that was nice.
But you're not the only one.
I know.
Everybody. It's very understated, but the blue and the yellow with all broadcasters right now is all over the place. And they're making this very nice little subtle reminder. You're in Ukraine's hearts. Good job.
Chris needs to buy me another shirt and tie today, a different blue and yellow, so I can wear something new tonight.
Let's do it.
Opposite. You could do yellow shirt, blue tie.
I don't think I've ever worn a yellow
Why
shirt.
not? You got a suit jacket on over top. It wouldn't be too much yellow.
Yeah, I know.
I can bring us back to the 70s that way. That'd be awesome.
We might be able
with
to.
an afro.
70s are actually currently trending. So
Get some platform
really?
shoes. Yes.
yeah, they're all back. Bell bottoms. That's all. Everything 70s is back.
Oh,
All right.
very nice. Very nice.
All right, we come back. We're going to be talking with the Stiefel CEO, Ron Khrushchevsky. Love it. Ron's great radio when he comes on. The Russian economy is being destroyed, and it will be for some time. The Russian oligarchs are feeling the pinch, but guess what? It takes time, and it's certainly not helping the Ukrainian people who need help right now. We are now starting to see the biggest advancements of Russian troops, the invasion hitting now. What we were afraid of, Ukrainians literally running for their life, million people, refugees already out of the country. It's not getting any better. We'll see where it all goes. We'll talk about the economy there, Russia, the United States. If you have questions for Ron, that's coming up right before 9:30 with Ron Khrushchevsky, the Stiefel CEO. We'll take your calls at 636-695-2915. You can catch us. What's up, funny? What's up, buddy?
Chuckling over there.
Nothing.
No, if you have good radio, let's bring it up real quick.
My guitar player says Team Uranium.
Oh, yeah.
So stupid.
That's right. We'll have an update on the new country of Urania.
Uranian or something like
Urania. You're a Uranian if you're from Urania.
The littlest stuff makes me laugh, Vic. I hate it.
Well, it should.
Hate
It's
it.
good. That's all right. The president gave us a new class of people, the Uranians. We already know that.
Go get him. Go get them. Go get him. Go get them. Go get him. What was that all about?
I don't know. Man, we got so much to get into. We got to get to break. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. Share the show, 100.7 The Viper on Facebook.
Edge Morning Traffic.
A traffic alert for you. There's still a 5-mile jam for 64 eastbound drivers that are traveling through the Chesterfield area. That's from that earlier crash near Timberlake Manor. They did clear it out of that left lane, but traffic is just starting to move through again. Earlier slowdowns, 70 eastbound near Highway K. Those have cleared up and traffic has thinned back out. No delays reported on Highway 61 or 79. In St. Louis County, slowing of traffic 270 southbound through Creve Coeur, and the northbound 270 also slow moving from 44 up to Manchester. I'm Fox 2's Molly Rose. That's your Edge Morning Traffic.
Good morning. Morning. Good morning, and a special good morning to you this morning.
Be informed.
Well, who is it?
The Edge Morning Show.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Compass Health Network seeks to expand its clinical team. Sign-on bonuses are available. $4,000 for SUD counselors and licensed therapists. $3,000 for nurses. Compass Health is offering these to professionals to work in our substance use and emergency mental health crisis services. Compass Health provides excellent training, a competitive salary, safe work environment, and great benefits. Visit careers.compasshealthnetwork.org and apply today. Compass Health Network. Inspire hope. Promote wellness.
Shop local with Revolution Mattress in O'Fallon. When you come in, you talk to the owners, Kevin and Lisa. No high pressure and no salesperson stalking you through the store. Kevin and Lisa will help you pick out the perfect mattress for your body and sleep position. Most of their products are made in America with a 10-year non-prorated warranty. See why Revolution Mattress has 5-star ratings on Google and Facebook reviews. Revolution Mattress, locally owned on Main Street in O'Fallon.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
The graphics are so real on this video game console I bought with the savings from switching to Progressive 10 years ago. I can't tell what's real and what's the game, which I think is what people want, in the future, which it is currently.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Hi, my name is Takia, and a little thing that I love about the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is when I take a bite, it's the perfect blend from the bacon to the cheese. It's perfection.
Hey, I'm Katora, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is it kind of melts in your mouth, so you know it's creamy, cheesy, and delicious. This gooey mac makes me cheese every time.
Order dinner delivered on the Chick-fil-A app today. Delivery fee and other restrictions apply. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You are an electric vehicle. It's true. Electricity powers your heart. Want to feel your heartbeat faster? Drive an electric car. Made by Nissan, a company whose EVs have gone 5 billion miles. Built for every driveway, every highway, and every speedway. And where the loudest sound is the beat of your electric heart. Nissan. Electric cars for electric drivers. 5 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010.
Viper weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray. We had a dry cold front come through overnight, so we are cooler but still above average on this Thursday under partly sunny skies. Let's go with a high of about 59 degrees. So that's a good 20-plus degrees cooler than the last couple of days. Tonight, clear and cold, down to 32, though nothing extreme. Friday, increasing clouds after a little bit of morning sunshine Friday, and 62. Friday night, clouds and mild, 49 degrees. The weekend, Saturday, I think most of Saturday is a dry day. Partly sunny skies, it's windy, maybe a shower late in the day on Saturday, and 72 degrees. Going to squeeze out a pretty good day. Then Saturday night into Sunday morning, scattered showers and some thunderstorms. That's the best chance for rain over the weekend, 65. I think we'll actually start to clear out Sunday afternoon. So the prime time for wet will be Saturday evening, Saturday night, and into early Sunday morning. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Welcome to your morning headlines, 9 o'clock on this Thursday, March 3rd. One person was shot and killed in an officer-involved shooting Wednesday night in Collinsville, Illinois. The Illinois State Police said the incident happened in the 100 block of Arnold Street at about 10 p.m. Illinois State Police say they are investigating right now. Well, the St. Louis City mask mandate, since we were talking about mask in the state of Missouri, it's going to expire this weekend, and the City of St. Louis Department of Health says they will not ask the Board of Aldermen to renew the latest commissioner's order. The city is citing a downward trend in COVID cases as a reason that the masking in St. Louis City will go away this weekend. There you go, Angela. When you walk into STL TV, you won't have to wear a mask anymore.
Well, I don't know if that's going to be accurate.
Well, why not?
Because since it's a government agency, that's a little bit different. You'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
St. Louis area 8-year-old boy unfortunately died in a car crash that happened in Callaway County, Missouri. Sad news there. Just goes to show how precious life is. A multi-car crash on northbound 55 near Arsenal this morning caused several delays if you were traveling through that area. By the way, this is interesting. St. Louis is hosting its 4th annual Missouri Earthquake Summit today. And I know we don't think about it, but all scientists say it's not a matter of if, but when the New Madrid fault line erupts or quakes.
I think they told me about that when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time of when. That's when Chris is going to have beachfront property.
That's right.
Something like that. The CDC director, Rachel Lazinski, Rochelle, she's going to be at her alma mater today. She's a WashU grad, by the way. So she's going to be back speaking today. Also, North St. Louis County neighborhood loses power after a car hits a utility pole. That can happen. And the city of O'Fallon is still looking for answers from a third-party contractor on how they ruptured a gas line, which caused a house to explode and several others to be on fire. Let's look at your morning headlines. I'm Vic Faust.
Attention sports fans. This is Sharp on Sports. Now, here's Angela Sharp.
NASCAR Hall of Fame owner Richard Childress is making full use of his access to bullets by donating 1 million rounds of ammunition to the armed forces of the Ukraine. I don't know if you watched that Blues game last night, y'all, but after a 3-goal outburst to take the lead, the Blues had a pretty sad third period, and they ended up losing to the Rangers. I know, bad news there. So they lost, but they play again on Saturday. The puck drops Saturday at 11:30, and we got a bunch of MLB players speaking out since the lockout is happening. A lot of them are posting their thoughts on Twitter, then deleting them and deleting their account. However, Mike Trout, he's left his up, so you can go check that out. You want to know what he said? Well, I'm going to lose my music here, but here you go. I want to play. I love our game, but I know we need to get this done right. Instead of bargaining in good faith, MLB locked us out. Instead of negotiating a fair deal, Rob canceled games. Players stand together for our game, for our fans, and for every player who comes after us. We owe it to the next generation.
Yep, that's what they're saying. It got ugly. That's for sure. Was that the end of the sports?
That's the end of the sports.
The Edge Morning Show.
I was just surprised he left his up when everyone else was taking it down.
I'm glad he did. It's so
Everybody
bad.
else posted their thoughts, also equally as aggressive, and they were like, "Oh, I shouldn't do that," and took them back down.
Well, this is they're on the timeline that usually happens when it comes to this. Everybody acts like, "Hey, we're in good faith. We're in good faith." Then, when everybody actually sees where everybody stands, then everybody runs back to their holes. It gets as bad. It's got to get as bad as it can possibly get. Hit rock bottom, and then you start building your way back up. That's where they are in this phase. It's denial, it's acceptance, it's anger, and then it's starting to move forward. Yeah. But I very seriously doubt now, after hearing how baseball responded yesterday, baseball players, that they're going to get this done for April 7th.
Ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
You had faith yesterday.
Well, no, I said that it was still a possibility.
Okay.
It was a legitimate legal planning possibility.
Sure.
And it still is today.
But I feel like you had more faith yesterday than you do today.
Well, because something happened yesterday. The players all came out and said those quotes that you just said.
Yes, and then they took them back, except for Mike Trout. He didn't take his
back. And it wasn't just him. It was nasty. It was several baseball players.
Well, so many. But they all took theirs back down.
Oh, man.
Does anybody know the details of what they're talking about? I mean, do they ever come out with a press
It's bad
conference?
radio. It's bad radio. Yes, there's lots of details. Luxury tax.
Luxury tax and the basement are the two big ones.
It's their. How do I feel about this? The owners have the right to put together a profit-making business.
I agree.
And they have the right to make as much money as they possibly can. And an individual that can put the ball out of the park 30 times a year, negotiating to make that much money and not start the season. I'm kind of sort of on the owner's side on this one.
I'm surprised by that from you.
I'm sorry. These are big challenges. These are big risks that these guys take.
Angela, I am too.
They take
And
all the
that may
risks.
piss people off, but I am too. If you own a business, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's
and
like,
you know what? If you don't want to play, then go somewhere
I
else.
think what the deal is that the MLB owners have increased their profit by I think this thing was 42%.
Correct.
So the players want some of that cut for themselves.
Angela's right. And you break it down here. Players basically saying this is when you get down to a nutshell. Owners are making more money and at a higher percentage than the players are.
Right.
And they say that the players' salaries have stayed stagnant for 6 years.
Okay.
Owners
stagnant. They're individuals getting paid
owners
insane amount of money.
Exactly. As a whole, they've remained that way.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? In life, those who own can do whatever they want. And that's why I don't have an issue with it.
I don't either.
Everybody can be greedy.
I mean, these are guys that don't give their sponsorship money to the teams. These are guys that go out and they get injured and continue to make money off of their contracts. These are guys that are basically, shutting. These dudes need to get back to playing baseball. They need to say, look, we want more money. Fine, but we're going to play baseball for the fans. And like Angela talked about yesterday, for the guys that work at Ballpark Village. So the owners are the ones that build the billion-dollar stadiums. The owners are the ones that bring in all of the promotional stuff and the marketing and the television contracts. Yeah. These guys are working their ass off, too,
as
man.
Tammy says, they all make too much money, and that's the problem.
And it's gross.
Everybody starts feeling like they're more important than what they really are.
So what's the gross part? The gross part is the fans suffer. That's the gross part. We're the ones that actually make it available to you to negotiate hundreds of millions of dollars of contracts. Remember when, God, you could be A-Rod one day and make $200 million over 10 years. That's a light contract these days. So
yep,
I'm gonna have to say
sometimes
this.
You got to remember to count the blessings that you have and be grateful for the gifts that you've been given by God to be able to play a sport that you're dealing, not having to go to a sales job, and be grateful for what you get. Nobody is hurting you by what you're getting paid. Nobody is making your life bad. And then if you truly love the fans, go get your ass on a freaking ball field and show. Don't tell me. People will show you who they are. Don't listen to what they tell you.
Just remember this.
And this goes for every sport. But suck it up. Be grateful for what you have in life. And stop acting like an immature child.
Throw this into the mix.
This deal, however, won't really affect the players that are currently, some of them, but not a whole lot of them. This is, from the players' point of view, supposed to set up the next generation of players.
That's worse.
No.
I think it's worse.
That would be in fact better.
That's what they're saying.
Right,
this is about the next generation.
If this is a generational
but it's not
debate,
completely true.
If this is
it's also affecting them right now.
Okay, don't let them fool you, Angela. Trust me.
What I'm saying is, what they're really arguing about is that luxury tax and that basement. Those are the two hot points, right?
What is the basement exactly right now?
I'd have to look it up. I'm not by my computer.
When you're talking about basement, you're talking about team payroll is what she means. You're talking about luxury tax. There's a luxury tax in place right now, which is basically like a spending limit. And there's only 3 teams that even went over the luxury tax last year, and it was the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Mets. So if you go over that spending threshold, then you have to pay what's called the luxury tax. Well, it's kind of like a pseudo salary cap, even though they don't have a salary cap there. What players are concerned is that the player salaries, the teams are not spending as much, despite and making those salaries higher, despite making more revenue.
I got you. Okay, that's cool.
That's why I said it's a boring topic.
It's not good radio. It's not good radio.
It is kind of good radio because I don't know any of this. I don't know what these negotiations are all about. Here's the other deal. Keep this one in mind.
We're just regurgitating.
I understand. Yeah,
right.
I will take the side of the massive layman over here because I don't know, but. Every dollar that they say, you know what? All right, we'll give you X million of dollars, players. Guess who pays for that?
Yeah,
your hot dog,
bingo,
your beer, and your gate ticket price. That's it. So if you think that the players just got this amazing bump, congratulations, guys. No. You're going to be paying for it. It's like insurance. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Open the damn games up. Come on, man. This isn't 1974 anymore. You have ways to negotiate behind the scenes. Just open the gates.
It's unfortunate, and we'll keep you posted. I just after hearing the tweets and reading the tweets yesterday and last night, I got very, very, very concerned that April 7th is not going to happen for us.
Yeah,
in
way
St.
way
Louis.
to put your foot right in the throat of the fan after COVID, you jerks.
Right now, Russia has taken their first major Ukrainian city as defensive weapons are starting to pour in from Western allies. But is it too late because the Russian assault is moving forward? We talked about 1 million refugees, some of which are trying to even get to the St. Louis area. We did a story about that. We do have some Ukrainians in the St. Louis area. You're talking about thousands and thousands of Ukrainian deaths now. Russian troops actually targeting civilian buildings now where they know, and there's proof of life in these buildings that they're bombing. And some of the saddest stories that we see are starting to come in now as Russia makes its biggest push right now. It's happening, which is very, very, very sad. And it's almost as if the world sits back and there's not much we can do since we can't go in and have an air assault and we're not taking troops into the country.
Yeah, what is the threshold? So they're talking about the next country being, what is it, Moldova or whatever it is, next door to it, and then he's talking. So he's already laying out this weird strategy of taking over another country. So there's already talk about the second one on the list. So what's the threshold that you just let Vladimir take over the entire Soviet bloc again? I mean, you have to let him do it because he can roll right over these little countries. Is there a point, Angela, when you have to?
When he knows I've checked out.
Well, I don't think you've checked out. No. I think it's like there comes a point when you have to even get excited about, hey, man, stop doing that crap.
You guys have seen me mad.
World War III. No.
It's right here.
Yeah, but what do you do? Okay, so here's the question. You want to know, so there's like a think of it this way. An hourglass. You turn it over. Who is going to win this one? Because the world is putting pressure on the Russian citizens now with taking away so much stuff. Apple Pay. I mean, all these companies are moving out. They're starting to go and take over the oligarchs' yachts. They're starting to take over. They're starting to make it really, really hard just to live in Russia. Okay. So does the Russian population at some point say, Putin, knock it off? If you take another country, we're going to be living in here.
No,
no,
Eric, they can't.
How they can't what?
As long as there's police there to put them in jails, they can't.
Okay, no, what I'm saying is this. When do the police say I can't do anything myself? I'm serious. Yeah. When does the population run? They've done it before.
Well, then that would, okay, Eric, which you get on and I agree with you, but you get on these tangents. That would mean the entire country of Russia turning itself over and there being a civil war.
No.
And that's not happening.
Not a civil war.
Yeah, you would have to have a civil war. You'd have to turn around the entire country, Eric. Russia's not changing. Russia's becoming more powerful in their military might, despite their economy getting hit, which we'll talk with Ron about coming up in about 15 minutes.
I'm just saying, when, if any time, will Russia or will Putin start to feel the pressure from his population saying,
well, some of his population already is, but it doesn't matter. His own soldiers say they didn't know what they were going to do. But here's the problem. The problem is he's got the superpower in his corner. That superpower is called China. And they were the only nation yesterday that refused to sanction Russia over their invasion of Ukraine. And they said they're going to continue their normal trade as usual.
Tell you what, a bunch of billionaire oligarchs who are funding a lot of this stuff. They're not going to want to have $45 in the bank.
No, that's what I said. In time.
Yeah.
I
know that's what I'm saying. Who wins the race?
It's not working right now.
Okay.
Are the Russian troops advancing?
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. This is not helping the Ukrainian people right now. Everything, and I know you weren't here for the first hour of the show, but that's what we talked about most of that first hour is it doesn't happen immediately. It can happen in time.
Right.
But as Putin gets control of Ukraine, which appears he's going to, he's not going to be stopped. It's not going to be a situation where then Russia goes, we don't want you in office anymore. No, that's not going to happen. He becomes even more powerful.
I don't know. This is a different era. This is
the
TikTok era.
He would have to be assassinated. The TikTok era didn't stop him from invading Ukraine, and the TikTok era is not going to take him out of office.
We'll see. I just don't know. There's a dynamic that a lot of people are not talking about.
Really? Then why hasn't he stopped?
This is not 1941.
Then why hasn't he stopped?
Because he doesn't. It's not him. He doesn't participate in social media, and he doesn't participate.
No, then
in
why? Then why hasn't it stopped him?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
People are being killed right now.
Yes, and unlike the 40s and the 50s, Russia, there are people protesting their leader.
Yeah. And
that
people
that did not happen when Stalin
and people going to jail just like the 40s and 50s for protesting.
Right,
Eric.
over 5,000 people are facing
Yes.
40-year sentences to say knock it off.
Exactly.
So who knows what the real dynamic is, and it's not being reported. And I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just wondering.
Really, and here, as Melanie said, Russian people really don't have independence to fight their government. They're truly ruled by a tyrant, and they only know that way of government.
It's true.
It is.
It is
sad,
true,
and that's what's happening. And
you almost have to win this thing, or dun dun
what
dun.
does win?
Or
What does win mean?
you
though?
have to somehow the world, the European, the civilized world needs to figure out how to win this thing against Putin, and I'll tell you why. Because if they don't, they're going to take another country. The second that Russia takes another country, there's China taking over Taiwan, saying we can go in there and take these guys out in a second. Look, they didn't do anything to Russia.
They might not even wait for that.
You never know. They were talking a long time before the Olympics. Remember that? They went over there and they were
they've been talking about that.
hobnobbing.
That's been going on for years, just like the Ukrainian invasion. I mean, while Trump was still in office before the election, he warned of Russia taking over Ukraine.
Yes.
That was all the way back in 2019.
Yes. And this is, look, I'm not saying this as a journalist. I'm saying this is what I think about. It's like, why is it so important that we stop Putin? It almost demonstrates this is the way that we would stop you as well, China. If you do this, if this is the variables.
China's going into Taiwan.
I know they are.
It's going to happen. I know. It's inevitable. It's 100%.
That's what they were talking about. They were trying. And as a matter of fact, on the way out, China said, oh, by the way, can you wait until the Olympics are over? Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's so coordinated. It's unbelievable.
And you also saw Russian figure skater and the team still getting their gold despite testing positive, which was a performance-enhancing drug for the heart and blood flow for the heart, which would especially help a 15-year-old whose body is still developing and trying to get stronger, and she still got her gold medal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because China took care of that. Oh, yeah, she took it with her grandpa's medicine. Oh, and then, no, really, well, then there were like 5 medicines. Oh, but she had 3 different drugs in her system. Oh, well, yeah, we don't know how that happened. I mean, so yeah, you can see there's all kinds of connections between China and Russia that we're seeing. The sad thing is that we're still buying the oil from Russia. The energy sector has not really been hit with the sanctions.
Not at all.
And we still haven't done those 2 most important things that we could to show solidarity with Ukraine. We still haven't done that as a country, which is sad because even people in Hollywood, as we talked about earlier, are taking their business out. We talked about it in the first hour. The businesses taking their business out of Russia, which is happening. By the way, Zelensky's still alive, refused to be extradited out.
He's not going anywhere.
He says, I'm staying here. We'll see what happens.
He's the Winston Churchill of Ukraine.
But the other thing is the White House has now asked Congress for $10 billion in aid for Ukraine.
Aid, as in machine guns? That's
money.
the aid they need.
They need they need bombs dropped on, but we can't do that, apparently, because that would put us into World War III if we have an airstrike against Russian forces.
It doesn't seem like Putin's too worried about any of that stuff, does he?
No, because he knows we won't do it.
Yeah.
But that's where you sit. So we'll talk about that as well. But then you look at the economy. The Russian economy apparently is, each day it gets worse. Eric, you talked about the oligarchs and the I guess the financial hell that they're going to feel if they do for what they're used to. Chelsea's owner, a Russian, Abramovich, has sold the team or looking to sell Chelsea right now.
And all of his proceeds are going to the Ukrainians.
And I did not hear that.
That is a true story. Look it up.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah. He is, yeah.
Angela, what do you think?
I don't know.
I looked over at Joe. It's like Zelensky's wife isn't stepping down either. That, according to Melanie Johnson. Carlene says he knew this was coming and participated by accepting $3.5 million. So it's all planned. I don't know exactly what that means from the Facebook line. But if we are still buying oil from Russia, then does our government really stand for Ukraine? And that was my point, because we still haven't done. We are still putting politics and what the Democratic Party wish list is ahead of what's best in this situation for Ukraine.
It's like we need an Uncle Sam moment. Man, the 40s, everyone brings it up, but this is like 1940 revisited, World War I. We need a Uncle Sam moment where it was like Biden comes out behind his podium and says, look, guys, I understand energy is a big deal. AOC, go take a seat over in the corner. I'll get with you later. We're starting to pump again, and we're going to bring this oil price down. And guess what, Putin? We're taking your bull. He's making a fortune off of $107 a barrel. He is. If you bring that down to $30 a barrel because we are over pumping and we are exporting to Europe, and we find new trade lines to Europe and say, hey, even after Putin's gone, we will continue to sell you American oil, that would annihilate him. It would wipe him out. He would have no money to do his adventurism all over the world. It would be over. The people of Russia would stand up and say, we don't have any oil over here. They would knock him out. So we need that moment. We need to be able to say, you know what, Putin, go knock yourself out. Run wild over there in Europe. But in the meantime, you're not pumping any oil to Ukraine. Germany has stopped buying your garbage. Europe is buying our stuff. As a matter of fact, our gas is cleaner. So you guys have fun warring it up over there.
That's the worst part. Our gas is cleaner.
It's way cleaner.
And the gas was coming out of the pipeline is way cleaner than what we're bringing in.
But that would be we'll shovel right off again. Remember the old World War II movies? We'll shovel right off again. You guys don't remember any of that stuff? Oh my God!
We're both looking at you with confusion.
What were
you guys don't know anything about World War II, do you?
Yes, I do know a lot about World War II, but what are you talking about?
You have to take the parallels of World War II and start to overlap them today. It's what made America an industrial country.
No, but what was your point?
My point is we don't have that moment right now. We are just ignoring him, basically. We can't do anything over in Ukraine. We stand in solidarity.
Pretty much we are, yeah.
Well, we don't
You're
need
right.
to. We can't do that.
No, but Joe Biden 2 nights ago said he acted like it was basically over, and we showed Putin he was wrong, and he underestimated Ukraine. And
it kind of all goes back to what I asked the other day when all this first started, is history has taught us that we're not always told the truth about war. So I want to know what the truth is, because it does appear...
What truth? I'll tell you.
Well, I don't know. It does appear that there's something else going on here.
Maybe there is, and I don't know.
You've given a plan that you seem to feel like it's really would work,
we got to take a break, guys.
Well, hold on. Hold on. I know.
We got to guess 9:30.
Just remember this. United States didn't jump in when Germany attacked Europe the first time. We had to actually be persuaded to come in later. But when Japan...
called Pearl Harbor.
Well, no, Pearl Harbor was the Pacific Theater.
Yeah, exactly.
So we did them both at the same time.
Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. We got to get going. We got Ron Khrushchevsky scheduled, Stiefel CEO, right after this. If you have questions about the market, your money, things of that nature, let us know. We'll talk things over with Ron right after this.
Here's a live look from the St. Louis Zoo.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. The new Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is only $8.99, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
People's Bank and Trust is helping you get a grip on your finances with our new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills all from the palm of your hand. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net for more information and to start using mobile banking. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
With everything going on today, it's easy to forget to take care of ourselves. Compass Health Network is here to help. We provide a wide range of mental health, primary care, and dental services for the entire family. Whether you need to talk to a therapist, get a routine health checkup, or have a filling replaced, Compass Health Network is here for you in person or virtually. Call 844-853-8937 to schedule an appointment or visit compasshealthnetwork.org for more information.
Hi, it's Julie again with Ben's Moving and Storage in Wentzville, Missouri, located at the intersection of Wilmer Road and Interstate Drive. We offer on-site security and 24/7 access. We are proud to have served as your one-stop shop for all your moving and storage needs since 1984. Right now, we are offering $25 off moving or a free month storage for new customers. For more information, visit us at bensmovingandStorage.com, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook for future storage sales. Ben's Moving and Storage in Wentzville.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom. How the world connects.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FALL.
The O'Fallon Kiwanis Club is now accepting applications for their vocational scholarships. If you're a high school senior or you're a high school student who's graduating this year, apply for a vocational scholarship being offered by the O'Fallon Kiwanis. To qualify, you must graduate this year and plan on attending a vocational school offering a technical certificate. Go online to ofkiwanis.com to find out more. Application deadline is March 21st. If you're a high school student graduating this year and plan on going into a technical field, the O'Fallon Kiwanis may be able to help.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. It's been a great show so far, but it's about to get even better. We promised you. The chairman and CEO of Stiefel, Ron Kruszewski, our good friend of the show. When Ron comes on, people get excited to talk money, and if there was ever a time where there might be some uncertainty in people's minds, maybe their hearts, it's now with what we see happening. Without further ado, we bring in our man, Ron Kruszewski. Ron, hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks again for taking some time. I know that people are wanting to talk to you all across the world right now. How do you put in things in perspective of what we're seeing in the markets and money and what's happening in Russia?
Let's get started with a very simple subject there.
Yeah, exactly.
Markets, money, and Russia. Look, let's start. Back in 1990 when the Soviet Union collapsed, think about that. I think that was 32 years ago. So people, that were in their 20s or in their 50s today that actually remember the Berlin Wall and remember East Germany and the Cold War. And so we've had a number of 3 decades of a new world order. But I remember the risks and how the markets reacted to a Cold War scenario. And so, first of all, I don't think there's any question that no matter how this ends, we're back into that scenario because if Russia takes Ukraine, then what's next? I'm sure Poland and Estonia are going to be very obviously nervous. They're on the borders. But NATO is going to be on high alert, and we're going to be back into that situation. And that's something that, from an investment point of view, many people haven't seen. So, what's going on? It's interesting. What are the Ukraine people fighting? They're fighting tips of bayonets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's sad what's going on. But what are we fighting back with? We're fighting back with tips of fountain pens. And meaning economic sanctions. And so that is something that, we can talk a little bit about, Vic. The United States and the Western world is using economic sanctions. But those also have a way of impacting what happens at home. For instance, oil, $110 a barrel, $110. All right, that is going to impact when you take a drive this summer, all right, and it's impacting inflation. Wheat, Russia and Ukraine control 30% of the wheat supply. Wheat's hitting prices it hasn't seen in decades. If you want to make a catalytic converter in a car, you need palladium. Palladium is solely controlled by Russia. So it's one thing when you're reading on the TVs what the United States is doing economically, but Russia also can do some things economically. And so what I'm talking about is stepping back from an investment point of view and not just talking about what the Fed's going to do. The market, loves talking about the Fed because rates are cut, you buy stocks. If rates are going to go up, you sell stocks. We have a new thing going on in the world here. We've seen it before. It's just been 30 years.
Here's a question. News move the markets, right? So whatever happens, you'll see the market almost in real time dip or go up or whatever. So nothing could be more dire in Ukraine, and nothing could be more dire than the leverage that Russia has, and we're putting all this pressure on Russia right now. I'm looking at the market right now. It's up 28 points. To your point, why is it going up? And it seems semi-stable. And what do you think is the future of the Dow? Just looking at the stock markets.
Well, first of all, I'm always, optimistic about the U.S. and and our economy. I think the market again is not focusing on the unintended effects on our economy of all these economic sanctions. The market has, and as I said earlier, what the market always focuses on for the last 30 years is what's the Fed going to do. So the reason the market's up a little bit today is that, on balance, Chairman Powell was a little dovish, meaning he wasn't talking about a 50 basis point rate increase. He was a little dovish, and the market likes that. And so that's like, you're home and, your heat's on and you're comfortable inside your house. There might be a blizzard outside, but you're not going to go outside. You're not going to step out on the world stage. And so right now, from a market perspective, things are comfortable. But the other thing that's going on, and I'm just trying to have people be cautious about this market. There are things you can invest in. I'll talk about that. But, besides what's going on the world stage, we have major inflation going on in the United States. And again, I bet a lot of listeners on your call that are, again, they have to be younger than 50 to really remember inflation, and an old word we used to have in the 80s called stagflation,
Yes.
meaning
Yes.
prices were going up and we didn't have any growth. So, I think the market is right now is not really focusing on some of the inherent risks.
So we got a question on our Facebook for you, Ron. Russians are purchasing U.S. real estate, and it is very hard to put sanctions on that because it's difficult to know who is purchasing real estate. And Melanie would like to know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I think it is hard to put sanctions, although the financial system's gotten very sophisticated. So if you're lending money or you're taking money in, you used to be able to buy real estate in limited liability corporations, LLCs, if you will, and those identities could be hidden. Well, that's changed in the last few years, where financial institutions actually need to know who the buyer is. And there's as you can see, a lot of companies, Alcoa quit doing business with Russia. I mean, Russia is one of the largest suppliers of aluminum. Alcoa just stopped doing it because you don't want to be breaking the U.S. sanctions today. So it might be hard, but there's a lot of. I wouldn't sell my house to a Russian oligarch. Okay, I don't care if they pay twice the price. Okay?
But Ron, they'd like to buy your house.
Yeah, that's right.
No, they would use it. They would use it as a place to keep the lawnmowers.
Oh yeah, right. Whatever.
Hey, Ron, Chris Knight here. Question for you: how does the crypto market play into all this stuff between Russia and Ukraine?
That's been crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. At first, crypto was was declining, as were tech stocks. Crypto will play. It's an interesting, again, really question. Can you get around not being able to transact in U.S. dollars by transacting in crypto? And could this be a boost for crypto as the countries under sanction turn to crypto? I'm not sure that that's the case yet today, because crypto still needs to be ultimately exchanged for U.S. dollars. That's what it's based in. You're not going to take crypto and feel comfortable if you're exchanging it back into a ruble. There's not a stable coin for crypto in the Russian ruble. That wouldn't be a good play. So I think crypto will find uses, but it'll be uses that probably are illegal, because they're going to be trying to get around sanctions. Now, crypto's around. I'm not saying it's going away.
Yeah, we're in this really, going back to the inflation thing, this is important to a lot of people, because it doesn't feel like we need to have. Is this a supply chain problem, this inflation that we're experiencing right now coming out of COVID, or is this a real kind of inflation? And then what do you see as the future of it? Is it going to continue to go up, and is it going to continue to go down? And if it goes up, who's to blame, and what can they do to fix it?
Well, first of all, I think inflation in its most basic terms is always an imbalance of supply and demand. I mean, we learned that all in school. And so you can either say it's too much demand or not enough supply. and prices go up.
It could be both right now, right?
I believe. Well, right. I mean, what happened here was that the response to the pandemic was really, in my opinion, overdone from an economic point of view. I don't want any of your viewers telling me I don't understand the pain. I do, but we're talking economics now for purposes of this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And what really happened is you put money in people's pockets. You encourage them not to work. We all know this. You would go to a restaurant and you would say, "Could I have a table?" And they'd say no. And you'd say, "Well, wait, there's 2 tables." And they would, "Yeah, but we don't have it. No one's working here."
Yeah.
If you try to get work done on your house, good luck. There's just there's just no tradesmen around, and if there are, my son's finishing his house. It's twice as much. Well, I mean, good for the plumbers, and I'm happy. But when you have a lot of demand, and at the same time people aren't working as much, this is what you get. And just a lot of money chasing fewer goods equals inflation. So is it just supply chain? I don't think so. There's a lot of raises going on, and raises are not transitory. Or I'm pretty sure if I give someone a raise and then I say, "Hey, that was transitory," I'm not gonna like the answer I get back to that comment.
No, it makes sense.
Do you have any tips for the people listening as far as being unsure about what the market's doing? Like, there's some people on here on our Facebook thing asking about should they be going into gold and away from the dollar? Like, do you have any tips for these kind of people who are super concerned right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think in times like this, let's just say if it's stagflation, in times like this, you don't sell everything. You can rebalance a little bit, but you own the consumer staples and healthcare, utilities, things that are required. You're going to go to the Home Depots. You're going to get staples. You need those to live, and those are going. They're immune a little bit, or not. They're not impacted as much by inflation or monetary policy. So what I would say is, don't panic, but don't be piling into anything. Don't take all your money, put it all in gold or all crypto. Stay diversified and just be aware of what you own. And if you feel you want to do something, then I would say, buy some of the defensive stocks. If you go on the internet and you type in defensive stocks, it'll give you a list of what they are. And if there's a couple that, or better yet, call an advisor and they'll help you out.
We're talking with the Stiefel chairman and CEO, Ron Kruszewski. Ron, from the Facebook line, Glenn says, is there any way to guess where you could see gas prices peaking at, just because you have more of a working knowledge of things going on around the world than the average person here in the St. Louis area?
Well, it's a great question, and this will again go with supply and demand and what we do. So one of the things, unless it happened this morning, one of the things that hasn't happened, but Senator Manchin is talking about this, is the United States buys 700,000 barrels a day from Russia. So we've done a lot of economic sanctions, but as I've said, we really haven't gotten serious yet.
Exactly.
Because if we say that we're not going to import their oil, that would be a crushing blow to their economy. But that is, as I said, that has impacts on our economy. Oil is in an interesting spot. It's around $110, I think, for Western Intermediate crude. It could go materially higher, or if you have a sudden resolution of Ukraine, oil could be back to $80. So it's a volatile asset right now. But my belief is that oil is going to go higher. And we'll see. One of the questions, this will be controversial. You want to have a little controversy on your show this morning, Vic?
Ron, please go with it. We're sucking
Well, again, from an economic point of view, what would your viewers? Is now the time for the United States and Western Europe to moderate some of the war against fossil fuels. Moderate. We have climate change.
I know where you're going.
Issues. Yeah. So what is certainly climate change can be argued as an existential threat, and I certainly see the risks. But when you cut off all the oil in a short period, you get a situation like this. You get Europe dependent on Russia on their gas, and you get us no longer energy independent, and our oil prices can go to $150 a barrel maybe. I'd be curious as to which is it. Is it just forget it? We'll go into recession and shut off all the oil. That actually plays into Putin's hands. So it's an interesting question, but I'll bet you it's controversial.
Let me answer it just real quick. So the woke people in the Greens over in Congress, they would love to see it go to $200 a barrel. They would love to see you get rid of your muscle car, and they would love to see the electric car revolution start right then. So I guarantee you that's what they're banking on right now. Now, on the other hand, a strong leader would come out and say, no, we're not ripping off the roof right now. There's a thunderstorm on its way. So we need to wait, let it pass, and then we'll work on all the green technologies later. And that's the big question right now. And I'd love to hear your opinion on this.
That's the controversy, Eric. I mean,
I understand, but at some point, Biden has the felt tip pin, and he's the one that's going to say, screw it, we're opening pipelines, we're going to get through this, and we're going to beat Russia.
He's never opening the pipeline.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's the controversy,
he's not open.
Hey, I thought. Wait a minute! I thought I was going to start controversy with your listeners. I didn't think.
No.
It starts with us, Ron.
Yeah.
Gee.
We'll start attacking each other.
I mean, look. I think that if you need, our leadership does need to recognize that you do not stop the initiatives towards solar, and of course you don't. Those are technologies that we need. But at the same time, you do not turn off pipelines, and you don't just get rid of fossil fuels because, as you said, there are a lot of people who would love to see oil go to $200 a barrel. I would say that would be bad for national security.
Are you looking?
You can say that's bad for climate change, but it'd be bad for national security.
Are you looking at the elections coming up? Are you guys keeping an eye on it? And then do you guys have a pony in the show? I mean, are you looking at if Republicans take this back over, the economy is going to do this?
You talking about midterms?
Midterms, correct. Thank you. Or if the Democrats kind of run the table, okay, then we're status quo. I mean, are you looking at that right now, or are you kind of like, nah, that's a sidebar?
Well, I mean, no, of course. You have to understand the political landscape. I think that if it was today, the Republicans would take back the House. They would probably take back the Senate. What would that do? Not much, because the White House, you can't pass legislation or do anything. I'm afraid what it would do, it would just double down on political rancor, because if you remember that when Trump lost the House turned into an investigative body. I suspect paybacks are tough, and you would see the House looking at a lot of things, on the Democratic aisle, and I'm not sure that's good for for the country in the divide we have today. But I do think the Republicans probably take the House. Consumers are not going to like inflation. Inflation's just getting started. But it won't change much because the executive branch it'll be a split party. And now, if the Democrats sweep and take the Senate, where they can get rid of the filibuster by overriding Senator Manchin, they don't need his vote. That could have real impacts. Okay, because it's been shown that one wing of that party would do transformational changes to the U.S. economy and society, and anything transformational,
well, I guess
right or left.
That's just to follow up on that.
Eric, he's got to get Eric. We got to get to a break.
I guess my question to him is: if the Democrats run the table, would you go all in on the green sector stocks?
Well, that wouldn't be a bad play. So,
Exactly.
Just push it all in.
Hey, Ron, before we let you go, how many hours do you average working a day? Because we get your knowledge on the show, and all these networks across the country use you, but what is a typical day like?
I'll tell you what, I love what I do. I get up and I love to read and I love to know what's going on, and that's part of my job. And I see you, and every time I see you, we're talking about markets and things. So I don't know. It feels like my day is my waking hours are. I have fun, but I'm always thinking about what's going on in the world, and that's what my job is. So.
What do you sleep like 3 hours a night?
I thought he was just thinking about his next vacation.
You sleep like 3 hours, Ron?
4.
4. Yeah.
4 hours.
Everybody wants to be the CEO until you see all the work you have to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, you know what? I love talking. I know I took you over breaks. I'll let you kick me off. I think you guys should argue a little bit more about this oil versus green. I like hearing you guys yell at each other.
Oh, I got an hour of it. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, on Monday we'll do it. Ron, hey, we don't take it for granted. We appreciate the time. You're the best in the business, and you're patient. And thanks again for giving our listeners an idea of what's going on and the way you see it.
Stay the course. Don't panic. Okay, that's what I tell people. Stay the course. Be diversified. Take care, everyone.
There is one only
Bye.
Ron
Thanks.
Kruszewski, the chairman and CEO from Stifel. We got to get to break. We'll be right back and kind of sum up what we just heard Ron talk about. You're listening to The Edge, the fastest 2 hours in Morning Talk Radio.
Grab your coffee. The Morning Edge will be right back on 100.7 The Viper.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Journey in concert. Freedom Tour 2022, March 21st at Enterprise Center. Journey with very special guest, Toto. Tickets on sale now at JourneyMusic.com. Don't miss Journey Live. Produced by AEG Presents.
Hi, this is Curtis Parks. I'm the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair. Now that things are back open, the vaccines are out, we are ready to get back to work. The kids are home, and I'm sure you're ready to go back to work too. We are hiring all positions. We are looking for everyone and anyone that wants to make life better for themselves, and we want you now. CompleteAB.com is where you apply. CompleteAB.com. Join the complete experience. No more sitting at home. Let's get back to work. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He's fixing the car.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Travers Automotive and RV grand opening in Wentzville across the highway from the GM plant is happening right now. We have a selection of over 1,000 new late model cars and trucks with new vehicles arriving daily. Shop from all makes, all models with financing for everyone. Looking for an RV? We also have over 200 travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes from Mesa Ridge, Open Range, KZ, Winnebago, Dutchman, and a great selection of used RVs. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, or RV, make Travers Automotive RV your one-stop destination. Located off Highway 70 at the Highway A exit.
Get a grip on your finances with People's Bank and Trust's new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills with ease and all from the palm of your hand. Activate your phone today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means the prescription medication to treat ED is super affordable at 4hims.com. And now get your first online doctor's visit free at 4hims.com. That's right. Zero copay, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. That's really good news. To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/joy.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We appreciate you joining us today and staying with us. Terrific time with Ron Kruszewski, the chairman and CEO from Stifel. Love talking money, especially when you talk experts. Speaking of experts, we'll talk with Colonel Joe Adams right out of the gate tomorrow morning, 8:25. Eric, you won't want to miss that. So if you want to be a part of Colonel Joe, that's 8:25. We joked earlier. We'll let your caretaker know that it's at 8:25. Anyway, he's going to connect the dots to China tomorrow in regards to a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, and that anybody that knows anything about military and what's happening across seas knows that China is a big part of this. And next up, Taiwan.
Yep.
Which is sad. But
it is sad.
And there you go. Which all ties into our economy, which ties into safety, which ties into Americans wondering if things can ever touch us.
You have to feel really, really secure knowing that you have the worst president of all the presidents over 250 years of country running the show right now.
It's scary.
This is not Roosevelt.
No.
This is not Washington. This is not Reagan. This isn't even Richard Nixon.
It's terrible.
Joe Biden. This is an intern flying a 747 trying to land it into the busiest airport in the world is really what we have right now. We better hope and pray that somebody is watching out for us. So I'll leave it there. Hey, have a great Wednesday, everybody.
Vic, what color tie?
Well, actually,
you're off.
No.
Oh, okay.
Do what now?
I thought you were going to say you're up. Well, actually, I'm off tonight.
No, I was saying, well, actually, it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday, Eric.
Oh.
Even better.
I was like, actually, Eric, it's
good catch. Because I didn't
Wednesday.
catch it.
I was like,
He's
what the
going to
hell's wrong?
revise his Wednesday and just have
What's
a really
wrong
good
with you
Wednesday.
people?
That's all.
Well,
He's revising his day.
You let it ride for a few minutes,
Yeah,
so you
I
weren't
did.
exactly on top of it either.
No, I went actually, and I was thinking about how I was going to say it.
No,
like,
just say it
respectfully.
You know I don't know the days of the week or the months of the year.
It's fine. Just claim you're going to revise your Wednesday for a better
I
Wednesday.
literally have to figure out sometimes what year it is before I write the check. Is this 2021 or 22?
That's right. Just write Chris's name. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah. Yeah.
Eric Johnson, Chris.
My name.
Can we all do that? Just write Chris's name?
Sure.
He won't even know it's the
Yeah, I
is
will.
the worst part of it.
No, we're wearing red tonight for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9, Chris.
Red it is. Have a great day. Brendan Shanahan is up next.